Mid-month, 14th of November 2024. Welcome to Somalia's premier #1 station for news and updates, Dalsan TV. There's a lot that's been happening within the past few days here in the country and abroad. Welcome to tonight's full prime edition. I'm your presenter Abdurrahman Yusuf, and these are the stories that are making our headlines. Vote count underway in Somaliland after peaceful election. Prime Minister Barre meets with Kenyan delegation as mediation efforts begin in federal Jubaland dispute. Al-Shabaab militants killed 2 Southwest State soldiers in Lower Shabelle ambush. World Health Organization urges global action to strengthen Somalia's health system amid growing challenges. Reappoints General Odawa as the army chief amid push against Al-Shabaab. Glad to have you back. Now let's delve into a full bulletin. Polls have closed across Somaliland after presidential elections, and it appears Wednesday's voting across the breakaway region has gone smoothly. The Somalian National Electoral Commission said polls closed across the region at 6 p.m. local time. More than 1 million people were registered to vote across 2,000 polling stations in Somalia's breakaway region. Here's a full story. Voters in Somaliland flocked to polling stations to elect their president, with a much-anticipated presidential election finally underway after significant delays that have ramped up political tensions in the Horn of Africa. The Somalian National Electoral Commission said polls closed across the region 6 p.m. yesterday. Dalsan media reporters who are on the ground have told us that the voters have turned out in large numbers, voicing hope for economic revival and better job opportunities. More than 1 million registered voters turned up at over 2,000 polling stations, with 28 international observers on hand to oversee the proceedings. President Musa Abdi Bihi of the Kulmiye party, the incumbent, is striving to clinch a second term as he continues to push forward with Somaliland's bid for international recognition. His main rivals are Abdurrahman Mohammed Abdullahi of the Wadani party, who's set to carry out through democratic reforms, and Faisal Ali Warabe of the UCID party, who champions a unity government to bring together different political factions. Since breaking away from Somalia in 1991, Somalia has established its own government, currency, and security infrastructure, although it still falls short of securing formal international recognition. Economic hurdles contributed to putting off the election, which was originally scheduled for 2022. Although a recent agreement between Somaliland and Ethiopia to gain access to the Indian Ocean has stirred up tensions with Somalia, seen as a threat to its sovereignty and territorial integrity, the federal government of Somalia has praised Somalian electoral efforts and called for free and fair elections to be upheld. This marks Somaliland's 4th presidential election, although the persistent delays have raised questions about the resilience and transparency of its electoral framework. Somali Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre met with Kenyan delegation in Mogadishu on Tuesday, marking the start of mediation efforts to ease the political standoff between the federal government and the Jubaland leader Ahmed Madobe over the upcoming electoral process. The Jubaland Presidential Palace reported that Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has personally asked Kenya for help in mediating the ongoing conflict, though specifics of the conversation are still unknown. Here's a full story. Somalia Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre met with Kenyan delegation in Mogadishu on Tuesday, marking the start of mediation efforts to ease political standoff between the federal government and Jubaland leader Ahmed Madobe over the upcoming electoral process. The Kenyan delegation, consisting of senior political figures, including former Intergovernmental Authority on Development (IGAD) Secretary General Mahbub Maalim, former IGAD Special Envoy for Somalia Ambassador Mohammed Abdi Ave, and Wajir County Senator Abdurrahman Ali Hassan Olo, previously held talks with Madobe in Kismayo. While details of the discussion remain undisclosed, Jubaland Presidential Palace confirmed that the Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud had personally requested Kenyan assistance to mediate the ongoing conflict. During the meeting with Barre, discussions focused on strengthening ties between Kenya and Somalia, particularly in security, politics, and trade. The Prime Minister expressed gratitude for Kenya's ongoing support for Somalia's state-building efforts and regional stability. The federal government's disagreements with Jubaland intensified after Jubaland unilateral appointment of an electoral committee, a move the federal government opposed. The discussion is related with Madobe exiting the recent National Consultative Council meeting in Mogadishu, demanding that Puntland and the SSC Khartoum be included as Puntland continues to boycott the National Consultative Council sessions amid its own disagreements with the federal administration. Residents of the Lower Shabelle region stated that Al-Shabaab terrorists attacked and killed 2 soldiers from Somalia's southwest state on Tuesday while they were on a motorcycle between the districts of Wanlaweyn and Afgoye. When the incident happened, the soldiers were traveling from Wanlaweyn to Afgoye. Locals reported that the militants killed both troops in an ambush along the route before escaping. 2 soldiers from Somalia's southwest state were ambushed and killed by Al-Shabaab militants on Tuesday while traveling by a motorcycle between Wanlaweyn and Afgoye districts in the Lower Shabelle region. Residents in the area say the militants ambushed the soldiers along the road, killing them both before fleeing the scene. The local administration in Afgoye has not yet commented on the incident. This ambush is part of a growing pattern of attacks in the Lower Shabelle region, where Al-Shabaab has intensified its activities. In recent months, ambushes and roadside bombings have surged as Somali military forces escalate their operations against the militant group in the region. Al-Shabaab, which seeks to overthrow the Somali government, frequently targets the government soldiers and its officials in its insurgency. The attack underscores the ongoing security challenge in the Lower Shabelle, while Al-Shabaab continues to pose a significant threat despite increased military efforts to weaken the group's presence. The Somali military, with the support from international allies, has been conducting operations aimed at reclaiming territories from Al-Shabaab, but the militants have responded with retaliatory attacks. Hanan Balki, the World Health Organization Regional Director for Eastern Mediterranean region, recently concluded her visit to Somalia, highlighting the need for sustained international commitment to promote health and well-being of all Somalis. Baki has stressed that Somalia's evolving situation requires flexibility from all partners and ongoing global support. She highlighted that Somalia is increasingly vulnerable to extreme weather events, including droughts and floods. Although the coordinated efforts by the World Health Organization and its partners help avert the famine during the 2023 drought, tens of thousands of children died and millions remain at the risk of hunger and disease. A World Health Organization official has urged the international community to support Somalia in maintaining its health services, safeguarding public health gains and building a resilient health system capable of facing future challenges. Hanan Balki, the World Health Organization Regional Director for Eastern Mediterranean region, recently concluded a visit to Somalia, highlighting the need for sustained international commitment to promote the health and well-being of all Somalis. Balki stressed the Somalia evolving situation requires flexibility from all partners and ongoing global support. She praised Somali leaders for their dedication to transforming the country and noted that many Somali citizens born during the civil war are eager to contribute to the national progress. During her visit to Mogadishu, Balki engaged with senior government officials, humanitarian partners, and donors discussing ways to strengthen coordination and address key health challenges in the country. She emphasized that more than 40% of Somalis lack access to basic health services due to the devastation of health infrastructure. She highlighted Somalia is increasingly vulnerable to extreme weather events, including droughts and floods. Although coordinated efforts by the World Health Organization and its partners help avert famine during the 2022-2023 drought, tens of thousands of children died and millions remain at risk of hunger and disease. Balki also raised concerns over the 1.5 million Somali children who have yet to receive vaccines for diseases like polio, tetanus, diphtheria, and measles. She warned that the children are at risk of contracting deadly diseases and face multiple other health threats due to lack of essential health services. Despite the significant challenges, Balki reaffirmed the World Health Organization commitment to supporting Somalia in delivering critical health services. She highlighted the World Health Organization decentralized operation in Somalia, which provide technical assistance to states, enabling them to expand and deliver health services to larger parts of the population and especially in areas where they are most needed. Lovely viewers, that's all we are prepared for you tonight from Modeski in Mogadishu. I wish to thank the Dalsan Media fraternity and all those who made this news edition a success, and you, our lovely viewer, wherever you're watching us from. Have yourselves a lovely night and be blessed.